Well, hello again, everybody. I'm Ed Baig here at the Consumer Electronics Show with my colleague Mike Snyder. It is day 3 officially of the show. It's been an exciting, very busy week. Lots of products. We've gotten around to see lots of stuff. We're still going to see more stuff. But Mike, maybe we should start with some of the big news that is not really on the product front. Well, it is, but not really.
Right. Well, it's, in addition to seeing products, I've been spending a lot of time looking at legal documents. Earlier this week, Monster filed suit against Beats, and so I actually we had time to look at the did an initial story. Then I took time and went through the whole suit. And while I was doing that, we got a chance to talk to Noel Lee, the head Monster. He invited us up to talk about why he actually filed this suit. So Ed and I went up and talked to him. We shot some video, and why don't you see what it looks like?
Yeah, let's take a look. A lot of passion in what he had to say.
The reason we did it was really two things. One is to write the record. So as the Monster transition all of the company assets to Beats, was handed to them on a silver platter, that once they got it, no mention of Monster anymore, and basically took full credit for all of the work that we did. It was the triggering of turning over intellectual property, know-how, drawings, the hundreds of people who worked on the project that really bothered me. And I came to realize that I think I've been duped. Okay, I think I've been, frauded, or however the attorneys want to cachet that. But I'm a business guy, okay, and I take integrity and honesty very seriously.
Well, welcome back. We certainly encourage you to watch the at usatoday.com. There's more stuff from the head Monster, Noel Lee. In the meantime, though, we're going to shift our gears a little bit and go over to the Panasonic booth, where our colleague Jefferson Graham has some cool stuff to show us.
Tesla SUV without having to pay for gas. Right? Have you ever driven a Tesla?
Q. I don't hear Anthony talking to me. Okay, so right now, here we are. We are here at the Panasonic booth. This is one of the great gee-whiz booths that makes you want to come back to CES every year, because they've got new products and they've got stuff that you haven't even dreamed of, and they're showing it off. Now, I want to start off with the hot Tesla Model X. This is the Tesla SUV. You probably didn't know that Panasonic is making the batteries for Teslas. That's just one of the many things that Panasonic does. They do everything from batteries to cameras to amazing TVs. They make juicers. They've got a juicer that's coming out later this year. They've been doing razors, electric razors, for 60 years. They've got an electric bike here, which will help you up some hills with some assist. They've got a new line of scooters back here, which has removable batteries. They see this as sort of like an alternative to the city bike syndrome, that you could just remove the battery and put it in as a rental. And now I've got a sneak peek at a new product coming out from Panasonic that I'm really excited about. As you know, I'm a photographer. How would you like to have a smartphone with a Leica lens on it? Wouldn't that be something? Now, this camera phone has an image sensor. It's a 1-inch image sensor that's 10 times or more the size of what's in an iPhone. Okay, so we're going to talk more about this camera. So for now, I'm Jefferson Graham at the Panasonic booth. Back to you guys, back to Ed and Mike.
Yeah. And just say, okay, we're back again. Now, we are privileged to have with us one of our partners at USA Today, David Kender, who works for Reviewed.com. And Reviewed and their team has spent a lot of time here judging bunch of products here at the show to come up with best of CES products and awards they give out. And David's going to tell us how they do that and mention a few of the winners. You can see all the winners here in a special publication of USA Today out today. You're going to want to pick that up. But David, tell us about what went on.
So this special section, it's the 49 best products that we could find, and that is out of probably 1,000 products that were on the show floor. This was the biggest CES ever. There were some really incredible finds, and some of the ones that I found really enjoyable. The Samsung Active Wash, I don't know if you got a chance to take a look at that, but I have a new baby at home. And I have all of these soiled clothes, and I'm always pre-soaking the clothes, and it's taking up room in the sink or a plastic bin, and it drives me crazy, and then you got to pick up the dirty clothes. Samsung put the bin under the lid, so you just lift it up, and you put your clothes in there, and then when you're done, you just lift up that hidden basket, and the clothes in the water drop right in, so you don't even have to touch it, which I love, and I'm going to see if we can bring one in our house maybe, and I think my wife's going to love it too.
Right, very pricey?
They're a little pricey, yeah. I mean, you pay for convenience like that, but it's a convenience.
What are some of the other things you guys chose?
The LG G Flex 2 was probably the biggest phone that was announced here at the show.
It's not a huge phone show per se.
It's not a big phone show, but I think LG was wise to try and make a statement where they could. And CES was a great place to do it. We love the original G Flex when it came out. This one is a little smaller, which is sort of surprising for a flagship phone, but it fits better in the pocket. It still has that curve, which has a nice wow factor to it. And they improved the scratch resistance on the back. So it's got that self-healing technology. You scratch it with keys that are in your pocket or loose change, and that scratch is actually going to disappear in seconds, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I got a peek at it too and really liked it. Tell us about some more stuff.
Eden, did you get a chance to see
that?
I
did not see that yet.
Eden it's a startup, and it makes gardening smart. The problem with gardening is you don't know if you messed up for several months and hundreds of dollars later. Was there not enough nutrition in the soil? Was there not enough water? Was there too much water? So many questions for a first-time gardener. You put this in the ground, sort of like a little stake. It's solar-powered, so there's no batteries, and it talks over Bluetooth. You can have many of them, and they network together, so you're getting all of this real-time information about your garden. It's going to make it a snap for beginners.
So did you grow anything here during the show?
I haven't grown anything yet, but I do have a garden out front that I've been meaning to work on. And $99 a pop for a little patch of grass, I think it's worthwhile.
Worth a try, certainly.
Yeah.
Give us another one.
So the last one that I want to talk about, I actually have this one with me. This is from a company called Black Box Biometrics. It's called Lynx IAS. It's a concussion tracker. This is great for concerned parents or athletes. Basically, it's something like a USB. It tracks concussion. It tracks cranial hits, and it lets you know whether you're in the danger zone.
Terrific, and it'll be interesting to see if the NFL ends up using that or something.
There's
similar.
A lot of news about this.
Yeah. Stay tuned on that. Well, thank you for joining us, David. And again, I encourage everybody to read the full package that USA Today and Review.com have put together on CES. Lots more to come on that. Now we're going to shift gears yet again. We're going to take a look at a package about Canon. They've got this connected camera system. Jeff Graham's going to tell us about that in a package.
You've got a hard drive for the TV. Tell me, what's Canon doing in the hard drive business?
This is a really new area for us. It's a Connect Station CS100, and basically our idea is to try and make it as easy as possible for our customers to be able to view, share, store, and print their images using the existing equipment they already have in their home, like their HD TV set and their wireless network. It's a very, very small, kind of subtle device that it fits in any kind of good quality decor, and it's again designed to be as easy as possible, so you really don't have to get involved with a computer if you don't need to.
Okay, and you've got a new line of power shots. I'm holding one of them that has NFC chip, and you just basically put the camera on top of the hard drive and the pictures will go right into it without any wires.
Yeah, that's really what the magic is right now, is that with this new active tag NFC that we've introduced in the new set of PowerShot cameras and also in our new Vixia camcorders, essentially it does all the work of connecting the camera to the Connect station. And then once that's done, then the images will just show up on screen automatically. Now that we have the images in the Connect station, we want to hit the menu button here, because on the menu button on the remote, that gives us a lot of different options of what we can do now with these various different images. So, for example, if I have a printer connected, which I just so happen to have here, I can come down and I can select an image to print. And it'll give me a couple of options of how I want to print the image. And then when I come down to OK and hit that, then that's going to send the data over to the connected printer. And the printer, of course, can be connected to either USB or wireless as well.
So the drive will be out in June for $299.
Right, and for more information, please come and visit our website at usa.canon.com.
And we are back. You know, we began our shows here from CES earlier in the week talking a lot about drones. There's a whole area of CES devoted to unmanned aerial
systems.
Unmanned systems. One of the leading companies in the space, the airspace, I should say, is DJI.
DJI.
And I'm here with Randy Braun from
Correct.
DJI. You've brought
I
a
am.
little toy. It's not a toy, but
This is our DJI Inspire 1 quadcopter, the most advanced aerial filmmaking platform in existence.
Now this is how much? Tell us
this
what
is-
it does. Obviously flies, but tell
Well,
us
this
about
it's got a 4K video camera, and also it shoots RAW and JPEG still photo files. This one's able to hover indoors as well, although it works on GPS technology outdoors. Also indoors, it has a tracking camera here and a sonar system that locks it to the floor, so it will just hover still, motionless indoors as well.
And you would use it for what
to shoot
purpose?
indoor architecture, for instance, professionally. This week, by the way, was the very first week that a consumer-level drone was approved by the FAA for commercial purposes to a real estate agency in Arizona, which is a huge breakthrough for the industry.
Yeah, I mean, as we've talked about throughout the week, there's a lot of confusion about drones, some concerns. You know, do you want
Right.
one flying over your neighbor's
Right.
backyard, or your
Right.
backyard, your neighbor's?
Right. It's like smart-
safety.
right.
Do you want this thing falling from the sky? I mean,
There's so much safety built into it now that it's
tell
it's
us.
pretty
I
amazing.
gather this can actually, if it gets too close to an airport, it's gonna.
Right, it won't take off. When it's 1.8 miles from an airport, the motors will not even spin. The farther away that you move from an airport, the higher it is allowed to go based on the software.
And again, the pricing and availability.
$2,895.
Great. Well, Randy.
All encompassing.
Great. Randy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Ed.
Lots about drones here, and lots about auto tech. In fact, I was talking to people, they say, is this a car show or is this, the Consumer Electronics Show? Well, of course, both. And we're going to hear more about auto tech from our colleague, Marco Della Cava.
Now, inside cars, we're going to see a lot of changes to dashboards, and there's a perfect example here in the new Audi TT that's coming out this summer. They call it virtual cockpit, and instead of the traditional old school gauges, you've basically got a screen. And you can toggle between the different functions right here. And for example, if I click on map, it brings up a map in the corner over there. If I want to make the map bigger, I just click on this, and there I've got the map right in front of me. I don't have to look over to the right, I can look straight ahead, and I can just click back and get a central tack and a digital readout of speed. If you think this is neat, let's check out what's going on outside the car in terms of the sensors that are helping cars ultimately drive themselves. Outside the car, you can't get more high tech than Mercedes F015, which they unveiled here at CES. It's a prototype that drives itself. In fact, the front seats swivel so the passengers can face each other and chat while the car drives itself. Audi actually has something like that on the road. It's a prototype Q7 that they use to take journalists from Silicon Valley here to Las Vegas. And BMW was at the show showcasing a valet car that basically drives itself to a parking space. Now, I don't know about you, but if you've ever been stuck in a parking garage wondering where your car is, the ability to push a button or tap your smartwatch and have the car come to you sounds like a pretty good idea to me.
Very cool stuff. Well, we have a new guest with us now, Minling Tan. He's the CEO of Razer, well-regarded video game tech company, and they had a lot of news here at the show. We're going to talk about some of that. First of all, Min, talk about the Forge TV and what it could do, how it could transform your living room for us.
Sure. So we announced the Forge TV at Google I/O together with Google. Pretty much our foray into the living room and to bring Android TV and movies, music, etc. Now at Razer, essentially we bring our expertise in terms of gaming. So what we have is we're focusing on Android TV gaming and bringing all the games to Android with some visceral immersive graphics. But the real kicker over here is we're actually getting games from your PC streamed right across your living room and getting all that PC gaming content right over there.
Well, and then once you get it there, you guys have some really cool peripherals to help you play on the couch, because if you're at your desktop, you've got the dedicated things you would usually use, probably Razer branded material, right?
Absolutely.
But now you have new things if you're on your couch that work really well. Talk about that.
Sure. So one of the big problems about PC gaming is that in the living room is that you're used to playing on the PC with your mouse and with your Razer mouse and your keyboard essentially. But when you're in the living room, you can't necessarily bring that across. And most of the other guys have said, why don't we design a gamepad? But that's a kind of a clunky kind of solution. What we've done is we've designed something called the Razer Turret. So it's a lap board. It's really quite cool. You put it on your lap. It's got a magnetic surface where your mouse adheres itself to, and it's got a keyboard. So essentially all your mouse and keyboard games right in your living room without having to compromise your experience.
Now, real quickly, talk about the VR platform you guys are working on.
Sure, it's OS VR. It's essentially open source VR. In a single line, it's a little bit like Android for virtual reality. We've open sourced everything on the software and on the hardware. And what we're doing at Razer is kind of pushing and testing the limits of VR for the entire industry.
And lastly, you brought your other new product with you. You had the first wristband last year, right?
Yes.
Talk about this one.
So the Razer Nabu won the Best of CES, the official show awards last year. It swept the world. It's been getting incredible amount of attention. This is its little brother. We've made it minimalistic. It's got little LED lights over here. It binds to your mobile phone, and most importantly, I think on top of that, we're rewarding our hardcore fans who are on our forums at Razer Insider, and it's going to be sold to them at just $20. But essentially for the rest of the world, it's going to be at $50.
Good. All this stuff's coming out. The other stuff's coming out in the next few months before in the first half of the year, right?
Absolutely. So OS VR, we've got a developer kit which is going to be shipping in June 2015. The Nabu is going to be shipping next week. So check it out, the Razer Nabu X, and it's going to be at our website at razerzone.com.
And you can find a link to Razer Zone on my story about all of Razer's news on ces.usatoday.com. Man, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Now we're going to go back to some new cool stuff at Panasonic with Jeff Graham.
Okay. Hey, we are back from the Panasonic booth. I've got Todd Ritting. He is the CTO for Panasonic. Thanks for being with us here.
It's good to be here, Jefferson.
Now, what I'm excited about is the whole 4K TV phenomenon. There's been very little programming to watch. You've got Blu-ray discs, but they're old 1080p resolution. You've got a prototype here of a brand new 4K Blu-ray. You haven't given up on the disc. Tell us about this little unit here.
Well, you need some kind of a disc to be able to give people something to play in their home. So this is the first portable Blu-ray player that plays 4K content. And so it delivers up content with sufficient color depth, resolution, speed that is required by 4K.
And do we believe that this will be out this year?
We do.
Okay. Pricing?
We believe that will be out this year too.
Okay, great. Now, speaking of 4K, I've got another hot 4K product here, a concept product. It's being used in Asia, though. This is your new smartphone, the Lubix smartphone with the Leica lens, shoots 4K video on a smartphone.
That's correct.
Tell us about this.
This is a wonderful device, and I'm taking it back from you because you've been keeping it in your pocket too long.
And I want it back.
Okay. This actually has a full 1-inch sensor, and the picture quality rivals that of bigger cameras. But we took the camera, put it in a small, slim design, and coupled it with a user interface that's basically a smartphone.
And we hope to have that out in 2015.
It's actually being sold in Europe right now.
Okay, but in the United States, we hope to see it this year?
We do, and it's a beautiful camera. It takes wonderful pictures, and you will love it, and you want that back.
Okay, but I'm going to do some test shots. I'm going to show it off to our audience and share them online. Look for us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm here with Todd Ritting, CTO of Panasonic, from the Panasonic booth. Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, that's it for our live show, but CES is not over. Keep watching CES at ces.usatoday.com because the show continues into Friday, so we'll have lots of more content coming. I'm going to have an interview with Neil Young later today, and he'll talk about Pono and what the developments they've had there. Ed, what do you have going on?
I'm more show floor, get the feet moving. I'm going to head over to the Sands. CES, of course, is in the Las Vegas Convention Center. Anybody familiar with Vegas knows how mammoth this is. And yet it's not big enough because CES spreads through town. I'm going to head over to the Sands and see what I hope will be a lot of cool and maybe some of the smaller stuff you don't see from big TV companies. There's a lot of little guys here too.
Well, thanks again for watching. If you missed anything, we'll have it on demand later today on ces.usatoday.com.